my liquor.
Yeah, I need some right now. I thought I was done with this shit last night.
Yeah, I thought so too. And you're offline on YouTube, so you're gonna have to start a new stream now.
Yep, part 2 coming.
Yep, this is gonna be a two-parter. It looks like I'm back on live. So I'm just gonna have to retitle it Part 1 and Part 2 when I handle this after the recording. But this whole thing. So apparently, of course, their reasoning for getting a female director is because of this whole batshit stupid notion of ape must write ape, which I find. But moreover, the writer apparently is less interested in the comic books and more interested in bringing change. Which to that I say, bitch, you're not a writer, you're not an artist, you're a fucking propagandist.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're letting Reef install, you idiot.
I'm sorry. I want to make a fucking executive decision right here, real quick. That's a fucking rise. Like, are you kidding me?
You know what? Fuck the quota. Rise.
Yeah.
Rise.
Skull. Motherfucking skull.
Where's my liquor?
Fucking damn it all to hell. See, it's shit like this is why I come onto this show, because you guys, god damn.
Oh, tell me that's not a reason to fucking rise and drink your fucking brains into oblivion. I don't care about it. That's the same type of bullshit. I don't care about your mythos. No, fuck you.
Screw your mythos. We'd rather be woke.
It's the mythos that brought us here in the first place, you bitch.
She's also talking about how she wants to see alternatives to violence in superhero movies and qualifies it by saying alternatives to glamorizing guns and weaponry. Name me one superhero movie Name me a superhero movie that glamorizes guns and weaponry. If you're gonna bring up the Punisher, then you missed the fucking point of the Punisher.
And on top of that, okay, you want a hero that doesn't use violence. Do you realize who you're writing here?
You're talking about a fucking assassin.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And again, the whole point behind superheroes, people that have power, that don't have to use guns and violence and shit to do the right thing, that have a good moral compass. They don't have to utilize guns or things, normal things like normal human beings have to use. Are you fucking daft, you moron?
And here's the other thing. Whenever I bring this up, I immediately get that one dumbass who brings up the Punisher. The Punisher, even in stories where he's the protagonist, is never portrayed as a superhero.
No,
he's a vigilante. Yeah, he's a vigilante. The only fucking reason the Punisher uses guns, it's the same type of shit with Deadpool. The only reason they use guns and extreme violence is because that's the only damn thing they have. They're not Superman. They're not Batman. They're not rich. They don't have fucking superpowers. The only thing that gives them a fighting chance against assholes is the fact that they either have a shit ton of money, they're really fucking smart, or they're really good at using weapons.
Yeah,
what do you not get about this?
In fact, to add to the Punisher argument, even in the comics, a lot of the heroes don't actually like the Punisher. He gets shit on a lot for his actions.
No, they hate him. Because he goes against everything they stand for. He's not a moral person.
At best, the Punisher is tolerated.
Yes.
And I've also seen. I remember somebody once tried to call me a hypocrite because I called this kind of thing out, and yet I'm a big fan of Spawn. In fact, I even have the concept album that Iced Earth did about Spawn, The Dark Saga, which is actually a really damn good album. Except here's the thing. One, Spawn is not portrayed as a hero. Two, if you watch the HBO thing, it's pretty clear that Spawn was involved with and did some messed up shit, which is the reason why he was in hell in the first place. And 3, if anything, Spawn is a victim.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point behind his character is he's the guy that's gonna do fucked up shit because normal heroes aren't gonna be able to fix the problem. So it's the whole idea behind having an anti-hero. He's the asshole that you need. He's going to be the person that's gonna do some really screwed up shit because other heroes won't do it because it goes against their moral values. As opposed to someone like Spawn, Deadshot, Deathstroke, Deadpool, people who don't give a fuck. And it's like, oh, you want me to kill somebody? Okay.
The last straw man that ends up getting brought up on this, and this is the one that almost made me go full berserker gang, is somebody bringing up the one captain in Star Trek you do not fuck with.
Cisco?
Benjamin motherfucking Sisko.
Someone trying to mess with the Cisco! Fuck you!
Do not mess with the Cisco!
You do not fuck with the Cisco!
Because they had brought up about the shit that Sisko did during the Dominion War. Here's the thing. If he didn't do the shit that he did, more people would have been dead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
and he acknowledged that and said, I didn't like having to do this shit, but I did it because it had to be fucking done.
I will always say, he died for our fucking sins. You give that man his due.
He's not dead.
Damn right. Well,
He's dead.
He's not dead in my heart, at least.
He carries one hell of a cross, but you know what? Someone had to do it.
yeah.
That's why anti-heroes are always the best stories. You don't have to like what they do or agree with what they do, but it takes a certain type of person to say, you know what? I don't want to do this. I'm going to hate myself for doing it, but it needs to be done. So if I need to be the villain, the best type of hero, in my opinion, is the person that's willing to become the villain for doing what needs to be done, knowing they'll be hated for it. That's why people love anti-heroes.
Yeah, I agree and disagree. It's one of those things where, and I linked it beforehand last week, but Professor Geek did a video called "Stop Deconstructing Heroes," and he talked about how we need both the ideal and the idealized hero and the aspirational hero and the cathartic hero as a yin yang. But I'm going to call it right now. The Black Widow movie is going to be DOA.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
next one I have to say, God damn
Honestly,
it, Wilson.
Mildred on that one, I'm actually going to disagree with you because I don't think they have the ability to pull it off.
No, I'm saying the Black Widow. You know what I mean by DOA, right?
It's done, Arrival.
No, I know. I don't think they have the ability. I don't think they have the ability to pull it off, and I don't think they have the ability to actually even sell it. I don't think
That's
it's
what
not
he's
going to
saying.
just be.
It's dead on arrival. It has
It's dead on
no
Arrival.
chance.
That's exactly what he said.
No, I think it's actually going to make money.
How?
I think it's going to. I think it's going to make money because so many people have been sitting there like, give me Black Widow, give me Black Widow, give me Black Widow.
I'm not saying it's going to make money. That's for certain. But if you want my final stance on that, how many Captain Marvel DVDs are getting sold lately?
None. Barely any. I should say.
And how many Alita DVDs are getting sold lately?
A fuck ton.
Like
I went to buy one. They're completely sold out.
I was at my local Target and Best Buy on Friday. Gone. Nothing.
Still empty.
Still empty. Captain Marvel. There's a full-on display for Captain Marvel, and nobody's touching it. I was able to find steelbook shit for Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
See,
this is one of those.
Here's what's. Sorry. I'll finish real quick. Here's what's gonna happen with Black Widow. It's gonna be the same shit as Last Jedi. a bunch of people are gonna go see it, and they're gonna fucking hate it.
This is where the MCU completely collapses right there.
Yeah.
Because and it's sad because it's happening to a beloved character in the MCU, Black Widow, being played by Scarlett Johansson.
And well, I'm going to get things back on the rails because I need to facepalm at Rainn Wilson saying that the biggest threat to Americans is angry white men with guns.
Oh, God.
Preemptive drink.
Could one of you hit the Stephen A. Smith button, please?
Oh, definitely. Hold on, let me find it. And damn it, where the fuck is it? Yeah, here we go.
Stay off the damn weed.
This one's a facepalm.
Yeah.
Oh God.
See, this is the reason why I'm glad that I am not any kind of celebrity, because I would have to make these kind of statements, and I'm just not interested in doing that. Because let's be honest. If I was in that position, my argument would be, nobody cares whether I vote left or right wing. They care. They're not going to see me. They're not going to see me on a TV. They're not going to watch TV or watch a movie because I happen to have this political opinion. Most of the time, they don't know who I am. They know the character. So,
yeah, and
so
no, looky here,
Rainn, let me throw something back at you in a more familiar form. False. The biggest threat to Americans is California dumbasses.
Exactly. And look at this. He posts a fucking noose on his fucking Instagram.
Well, it was apparently from his friend Jamie who did a lengthy rant about hate symbols, and I'm going, you're doubling down, and you're making an embarrassment out of yourself.
You go looking for witches, you're gonna find them everywhere.
Wait, so we've evolved from hate speech to hate symbols? That's
apparently now. If I end up hearing about hate smells in a year, I called it.
Yeah. Get that fuck you, I was right button ready.
No,
Yeah.
Mildred, we've already done that. We have offensive smells. You can't go into the quiet room at the Democratic Socialists of America.
Of
if
course,
you have
yeah.
an
That shit'll
offensive
trickle
smell.
out.
The only thing that would get me into a room with the Democratic Socialists of America is a fucking hazmat suit, the coldest fucking shower I can find, i.e. getting some cryotherapy, and also getting bribed 6 figures and 3 hookers.
Here's the only thing that, if I'm gonna get close, listen, the bottom line is this. The only reason I'm gonna go to fucking DSA meeting is if I'm bringing my friend Willie Pete with me.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yes.
With all that said, I think it's time we talk about another chapter in the Randy Bitchford and 2K saga.
Yes.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
This is not a ride.
Play the
Now I'm
music.
vetoing. Yes.
Doesn't need it. Trust me.
It needs this music.
Yes.
Because I'll be suing you. Get off the stage, Phil Collins.
No, that's the police.
Every step you take, every move you make,
I'll be suing you. Oh God! When I saw this story, I watched the videos from both Sid Alpha and Yang Yan. I've seen a couple others like Legacy Killer as well. My God! First of all, there's bullshit on both sides, but it is very clear which side fucked up more. And yeah, it's 2K and Bitchford.
Now,
Yeah.
now
the question here is this: Who sent the fucking investigators? Bitchford or Zelnick?
I'm gonna argue 50-50.
Yeah. So, if I may, Monk, because I can explain this very, very quickly.
Floor is yours.
So, this guy Subnato had been putting out leaked information about Borderlands 3. Now, the most recent one was apparently during the recent trailer talking about their about some recent stuff, or their Twitch integration. They accidentally revealed their private Twitch accounts that they use for gathering footage. Well, people found the accounts and thought it was like a part of an ARG, so they started looking into it and found a whole host of these accounts, started following them so that whenever they went live, they could grab the thumbnails, which even if it's a private stream, it would show the thumbnail. Subnato was also doing this, or grabbing those screenshots from other people, and was talking about what he was seeing. Now, this wasn't the main reason they went after him, but it was definitely the catalyst. Because next thing we know, as Aaron pointed out earlier, he suddenly gets a visit from 2 private investigators sent by 2K, and as soon as they're done interrogating him, his Discord gets shut down. His 7 of his videos at first, we'll get to the other part later, get hit with a copyright strike, and a whole bunch of other shit. Now, since that started, he put out a video explaining his end of things, and TIG2 put out an article on IGN explaining their side of things. But here's what's happened since then, which makes this far more interesting.
I think it's a good time to talk about the IGN article.
Yeah.
Because right as this happened, Take-Two decided to issue their responses through IGN and made some flat-out fucking lies. And for whatever reason, the archive link isn't working.
Oh, fuck you.
Whoa.
Does this mean this means I'm gonna have to go on IGN's actual site?
Well, while you do that, I'll add the information as we go along, because I know I remember most of it.
Well,
basically, they tried to.
You can't spell ignorant without IGN.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. So the big thing about this was they claimed, and I stress claimed in big air quotes, that they had that Subnato and others had been using a exploit with Twitch, that they had actually broken past security measures to get these thumbnails. But as I just explained, that was not the case. Now, the one aspect of this that, if true, might put Subnato on as equally bad is that he apparently they had claimed that he was hosting a private Discord server that you could pay to join, and in that server he was giving out more private leaked information. Again, there's been a lot of back and forth on that, so I don't want to make a judgment call on that one yet. But if it's true, yeah, he's got his own share of faults on this. But everything else, 2K has either lied or is holding back information that's explaining why they are doing such bullshit. Because after Subnato's apology or explanation video, they turned around and gave him a grand total of 112 separate copyright strikes.
Yep.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Skull.
I don't care how much
Skull.
we've already vetoed it. We've already vetoed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've hit the quota.
Yeah, but needless to say, there's no way he's appealing all that. His channel is getting shut down. And in fact, he has already said he's pretty much done with YouTube at this point, because you ain't coming back from that.
Now,
if that's the case, it's still an instant 20 drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Now,
That's some bullshit.
Now here's my take on it. At this time, the description of the private part of his Discord, that seems to me like standard fare. You know, where you either subscribe through YouTube or subscribe on Twitch, and you get access to a sub only channel. It's common practice. However, if he was discussing what was in these leaks, that would not qualify. There has been no evidence thus far, and because of the fact that the channel's been nuked, there's no way to give any sort of corroboration on the matter. whether or not he was actually doing that. Now, if someone else put the leaks in his Discord and it wasn't him doing it, that's another matter entirely. That's somebody going into business for themselves, and that's not his fault. But I do not engage in that level of blind speculation. What I do know is this: what I think happened is either 2K or Gearbox fucked up with their own stream, and did not take care of this ahead of time. And given the fact that they had a hard time running the premiere, I wouldn't be all too shocked with that, especially since they were trying to advertise a Twitch integration. Now, go ahead.
If I may add something here, part of this blame can also go to Twitch, since there was apparently a bug in the system. Yeah, because this whole grabbing the thumbnails thing was something that Twitch did wrong by allowing even a private stream to have thumbnails. That was their mistake, and if that's all Subnautica did was grab shots of those thumbnails, then it's not his fault. It was publicly available information. They just didn't realize how public it was.
Yep. Now, but then again, here, let's be honest, okay? All that shit that's been leaked and spoiled. Let's be honest. Considering we're dealing with fucking Pitchford here, you can't really spoil something that's already rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, we ended up getting the boycott Borderlands 3 hashtag, which some people are saying that it's not going to do anything. The game is still going to make bank, so why even bother with a boycott? This thing is Borderlands 3 is definitely going to make its money. I am more than certain of that. However, the big question here is this: is it going to make that same make that same amount of money after? Because eventually they're gonna do some sort of DLC package, and are enough people still gonna be mad about that, or moreover, I've gotten a few comments from some people that I know who have outright stated that even if they get the game, they'd be hesitant about streaming it because they don't know if they're gonna end up pissing off old Randy Bitchford or pissing off Take-Two.
Of course.
Yeah. Now, here's another thing that really boggles a lot of us about this situation. I think it was, I don't know if it was Young Ya or Sid Alpha that brought this up, but Take-Two had their own situation like this, where they had a Grand Theft Auto YouTuber who was leaking information for Grand Theft Auto Online. You know what they did? He flat out said, hey, if they contact me and ask me to stop, I'll stop. Take-Two did just that. They contacted him, say they had Grand Theft Auto Online coming out. He was leaking stuff. He was talking about leaked information. They told him, "Hey, can you please stop doing that?" He's like, "Sure, no problem," and he stopped. Why couldn't they do that here? Just say, "Hey, we don't like you doing this. Can you do us a favor and just cut it out?" They didn't have to go to these lengths.
This is why I suspect Pitchford this was Pitchford's idea, because standard operating procedure would be just they'll just send him a cease and desist, and that'll be the end of it. But no, I think Pitchford really wanted to drive the point home.
He wanted to send a message.
We already know that Pitchford doesn't exactly care for internet commentators. What with that whole IGN interview from 2 years ago.
Also, we should say, welcome Brother Matty, who's enjoying his time away.
Hello, dude.
Hello.
Yeah, by the way, like I said, since this says I think this was Pitchford's idea, and Zelnick said, okay, we'll go for it. You know what? I'm playing the fucking theme again. Yeah, fuck you, Pitchford.
Yeah.
But I can safely say that Borderlands 3, welcome to the blacklist. We've kept the seat warm for you.
I never played any of the Borderlands games, and now I have no fucking interest in them.
Yeah.
I don't care how good it is.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing, Pitchford. Sell the Duke IP, you jagoff!
Yeah, but the whole claim of his account was involved with selling, promoting, or distributing cheats, hacked or cracked accounts. Yeah, no. But speaking of themes, for this next one, Aaron.
Oh, you know what? Oh, this is perfect. I got this shit ready.
Yeah, we know you got this one ready.
Play the Quebecers theme. But you can never hide, cause the Mountie always gets his man.
Wait a minute. Is Mountie gonna show up? I hope he's not a geek.
No,
this is
the song is
Jessica Yaniv.
That's why we said the Mountie always. That's
Yeah.
why we said the Mountie always gets his ma'am.
Yep.
Yep. The
By the way,
Mounties
we should
busted
probably
her.
establish why I am away right now. I'm actually in Toronto for SummerSlam weekend. And long story short, Velveteen Dream, who is an 80s entered using part of his entrance uses that particular theme song that was just aired.
Yeah, I heard some stuff from SummerSlam. I heard, aside from Bray Wyatt going way over Finn Balor.
I'm stopping you there because I don't want to get derailed with wrestling talk, especially since we've got.
All I'm going to say is
#save
it for the WrestleCast, but the crowd was there the entire night.
All right.
I'll say this, and we will move on.
Yep. Now, that being said, so last week we had talked about Yaniv having some very eyebrow-raising skeletons in their closet. Oh fuck it! I'm dropping the pretense. It's his closet.
Yeah, his closet. Yeah, let's be honest.
Starting all of it starting over the whole wax my balls bigot thing. And then we saw that he was willing to get into a debate with Blair White, and I thought
That was a debate.
Good.
That was a debate.
that was not
That was
a
an
debate. That was a
execution.
slaughter.
That
And
was execution.
That
No.
wasn't a debate. That was Dolph Ziggler tonight.
What Blair White did is a felony in 50 states.
now, here's the thing. Then it got even juicier because in the middle of it, while apparently doing some diatribe about having to defend herself, she pulled out a taser on camera. Problem is,
well, here's
in
the
the part
problem.
in the
It's
part of
illegal in
Canada
Canada.
that she's in, I'm not sure if this is something countrywide. That is an illegal weapon, and within 24 hours, she had the Royal Mounted Police on her ass, his ass.
Oh, yeah, the Mounties always gets their ma'am.
She was arrested, and her home was searched.
Uh-oh.
And
Yeah,
apparently,
here's something about Canadian gun laws. You gotta register every firearm you have. Like, long story short, if it's not on the registry, you're fucked.
what could you end up getting for getting busted with an unregistered weapon?
Let me Google that for you, sir.
I'm going to hazard a guess. It is not hard labor.
It's definitely jail time. Let me see that.
I'm surprised it's not hard labor considering how Canada is.
I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying you could probably set someone straight by just giving them 30 days of hard labor up in northern Nova Scotia or something. Or just send them way out into Newfoundland.
Okay, so according to pardonapplications.ca, careless storage or handling is 6 months plus $5,000 fine for 2 years, or fine to 2 years, depending on whether or not the summary indictable offense. Pointing a firearm is maximum sentence 6 months plus 5,000, or up to 5 years. I'll just go for the max just for effect here. Carrying a concealed weapon is up to 5 years in prison, and that's the non-severe penalties, by the way. Weapons for dangerous purposes. This is the severe penalty, up to 10 years of prison.
Jesus.
Possession of a restricted weapon. Supreme Court in Canada finally recently struck down the severe 3 to 5 year penalty, but the sentencing ranges between $5,000 fine and 10 years in prison.
Oh my God.
So yeah, the max you could get, depending. What was she arrested on, or what was the person arrested on?
Let's see.
She had 2 stun guns, pepper spray, and bear mace.
Hey, Mildred, I want to
careless storage and handling. That she might years.
I want to say something about this one. Don't call this person a she. It's not a she. This person does not deserve any fucking respect. They're a piece of crap.
That was a
they
slip
do
of the
not.
Doku. That was a slip of the
That
tongue.
was a slip of the tongue. Plus,
Slip of the tongue.
my voice is obviously jacked.
Yeah.
But let's put
I'm just saying, this type of individual is the type of individual that sits there and wants other people to fucking bend the knee to their own fucking ideological outlook on the world. They're not worth the time of fucking day.
Yeah.
Blair White called them out on it. He fucking made himself look like a and you know what? He deserves everything he fucking gets. And yes, I'm saying he, because you have balls between your legs, you stupid fuck.
No, I would say more or less she still looks like a fucking man. At least Blair White, she looks better than a good amount of women.
Akira is
Blair White at least deserves respect. Mm-hmm. This asshole does not.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I remember there's a couple instances where Blair White did the same thing. And you want to know why she didn't get in trouble? I'll tell you why. 2 words. Second Amendment.
Now one of the things that I found was curious timing is that the day after this search ends up going about, and I think this was Yaniv trying to get some revenge. Blair got doxxed again.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about
I'm sorry. That. I don't care what side of an argument you're on. The minute you resort to doxing somebody, you have immediately lost your argument. You are done.
Now, I don't know who was responsible for the doxing, obviously, but it does put enough curious timing that my instincts end up kicking in.
If it wasn't Yaniv themselves, it was probably one of their fans or somebody someone who's following them. Somebody
or somebody that has a hate boner for Blair, because there's certainly plenty of people who are in that camp. Like this is, I think, the third or fourth time this has happened.
You could probably throw a dart. Could be any member of Antifa. It's anyone.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. I need to laugh at Disney one more time before we get to our truncated unholy trinity. So,
here you go.
So
there was an episode there. I see.
So there was an action series that Stallone and Lundgren, who have partnered up into a production company, were trying to pitch, and one of the people who passed up on it was Disney. The idea is that they were going to do a series called The International. It's going to be written by Ken Sanzel and stars Lundgren as a operative for for the Department of Safety and Security. According to Deadline, Lundgren's character is described as the UN secret special agent, a one-man SWAT team and hostage negotiator. It was coming from Tony Krantz's Flame Ventures. Stallone would be executive producer alongside his partner at Balboa Productions, Braden Aftergood. They were also joined by Craig Braugmount of Zero Gravity. Stallone confirmed the show on Instagram, saying that he would be working on it, and it was getting a fair bit of buzz in the presses. But ABC, which is owned by Disney, decided not to take it because it was not female focused.
Yeah, they say no women. Oh, you got no women in it.
And
Disney. I have a question. Disney, ABC. I have a question for you. Do you know who in the flying fuck these two men are?
It's our fucking legends.
Oh, wait, wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
And not just legends of the 80s male action star period that dominated the market. Sure, maybe it's not as big as it used to be in this day and age, but I guarantee you they would have made it work. And you passed it up for such a bullshit reason, you dumb, ignorant motherfuckers.
And
they want
to that's how you lose money on the table.
You know, and I guarantee you this, because of the fact that it got that kind of buzz because you were selling it on the whole idea of Stallone and Lundgren working on a TV series. I guarantee you there's gonna be other suitors, and even if they, and you want to know would be really funny. If Amazon Prime took this and ended up getting a bunch of subs.
Yeah. I would expect Netflix to be knocking down their door.
That could be the kind of product sell a lot of subscriptions for Amazon, actually.
Hell, I have to expect Netflix to be knocking down their door before you know it.
Yep.
I don't know about Netflix. Amazon, I would definitely.
Well,
I didn't say it was the best of choices. I'm just saying it's very likely that they'd do it.
Well, Amazon's currently riding high regarding The Boys, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. Now, unfortunately, we do not have a full spread for the Unholy Trinity, but we do have one. The original one. Well, not the original, the second one. It is time for EA, Egregious Assholes.
What did the gang do this time?
Okay, first off, we need to return to an old friend with the continuing folly.
Ah, yes.
So, after months upon months of waiting, the Cataclysm event for Anthem finally went live to the public, or as it's been known, the Instagram filter. And
oh god, yes.
Oh god, the gang really fucked up on this one again.
You know what? I say, when it comes to this particular game, I say, we shall sing the anthem of failure.
Yes.
Yep. Because, okay.
Yeah, the gang can't even get a fucking DLC right.
Although, Tyler Krasny, I gotta give you a drink for this opening paragraph. Anthem has been referred to as a lot of things. A car that can only run downhill because it has no engine, an airplane that's lost power and is slowly gliding into the ocean, a raft without any means to stay afloat. In short, Anthem has been a poorly received disaster.
Drink for savagery.
To take a line from the old Metricon Star Party, I like this guy.
So the new event offers a new map called Echoes of Reality, or a new mode, And instead of letting people explore this new area with the Iron Man style jetpacks that they have, instead you're given a 15-minute timer, and have to go from objective to objective. All obstructed by violent rain, of course, warning that the storm will kill you sooner than later. It's starting with a bunch of boring story missions that gives you 15 minutes to complete 3 objectives and a boss battle. And
are they flying around in that 15 minutes?
Yeah. There's some mini bosses,
Are there golden rings?
But the problem is the boss battle. If you've dealt with some of the bosses in previous raids, you're not going to be doing anything unique.
Yeah.
Superman 64 is what I'm trying to say here.
No, nothing that bad, though. Pretty damn close. Though, the other big elephant in the room is, of course, the storm itself. Because the trailers made it look like it was going to be this raging typhoon that was going to blow everything around, destroy the environment around you. And as you mentioned earlier, it just ends up being a light little bit of rain and a blue Instagram filter.
So they advertised Brock Lesnar. What? Corbin.
No, I'll do you one better, my friend. They advertised Goldberg, and they gave us Gilberg.
Excellent.
Yeah. No dry eyes, just fire extinguishers and sparklers.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, next, we already talked about it earlier, but I think it's time we return to Apex Legends, because there was one update that is a case of this is a bit too little, too late, and why didn't you put this in the start?
Yeah, this is day late and $1 short.
So they're doing a solo mode instead of doing the whole party thing that they've done in the past. Except here's the problem. For starters, even though everybody within a mile has been requesting this, they decided to only do it for the Iron Crown event, and have not made any plans at the time of this writing to make it a permanent mode.
Oh God.
So it's a case of you finally did what people are asking, but because it's tied to a limited event, that means it's only going to be around for a couple weeks, and then that's it. In fact, it ends on the 27th, and then it'll probably be right back to the party setup that they've had up until this point. So, nice job. You had a good idea, and then you decided to half-ass it.
Eric, please.
Decided to half-ass it is putting it nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Here's what they did. We're gonna. They basically treated Apex Legends like Burt Gummer treats the U.S. government. You guys do what you do best. Find something simple and complicated.
And while this last one from the asshats of Activision isn't necessarily related to not asshats of Activision, the egregious assholes isn't limited to EA specifically, but is tangentially close enough that I wanted to cover it. Let's check up on our old friend Patrick Soderlund. The man who said accept it or don't buy the game has accepted that he's going to have his own game bought by Nexon.
Okay. I didn't think I'd be making another one of these in one night, but this is another case where I have to hit a Toku button, but I think it's an appropriate one. Because for you, Mr. Soderman, it's game over.
No, I'll do you one. I'll do you one better. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Where the fuck did I put it? Okay, this is even better.
I was waiting for that.
Yep. Now, what's going down is that Nexon has purchased a significant amount of stake in his company Embark Studios for $96 million. That might be a wasted investment, honestly. In other words, Patrick Sutherland, who is now on Nexon's board, will have his company be a subsidiary of the Nexon Group. They one day can acquire all of Embark Studios stock, which means at that point it will no longer be Embark Studios, it'll just be a branch of Nexon.
Yes, because that's a company you really want to have yourself attached with.
Oh boy, that's like working for 10 cent.
Basically, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a company full of microtransactions and live services.
Yeah,
Never mind the fact that I have to ask this question, Nexon. Why would you invest that much money in him? He has this. Yeah, he was.
He's
Yeah,
a
he
shill,
was an
that's
ex.
why.
He was an ex-CFO for Electronic Arts. Except CFO basically means you're the biggest pencil pusher. You're the big damn accountant. Furthermore, what game has he put out? If this was a case where his company had put out a well-respected series of games, or even a decent singular game, I could understand paying that kind of money for his company. But he didn't. In fact, as Billy D points out, they have not released their first game. They have not announced the game. They don't have any gameplay footage or a teaser trailer for any kind of IP.
So in other words,
they have a glorified Indiegogo campaign.
Oh my god! You know what I think it is? I'm going to say the same thing I said last week. It's probably a tax shelter.
I wouldn't be surprised. And
Like I said, glorified Indie.
God, am I actually gonna have to fucking defend Disney here, saying at least they bought some intellectual properties as opposed to just buying a bunch of useless, weightless bullshit?
Yeah, they bought a fucking. Yeah, they basically just bought a fucking flatbed truck. That has no engine.
I'll put it another way. What this is an equivalent to a couple certain moves that the Knicks and the Lakers pulled last year.
Oh God! Okay, I know exactly where you're going with this, and God damn it, Mildred, preemptive fucking drink.
Sell the team, Dolan.
Because I'm talking about having
he's
Phil
not wrong. He's not wrong.
The two incidents I'm talking about are Phil Jackson as head of basketball operations for the Knicks, and Magic Johnson as GM of the Lakers.
Oh yeah. Stupid ideas.
And if you want to talk about progressive, I'm going to put this out right now. The most progressive organization in the NBA is the Lakers because they can show that female executives can be just as incompetent as male executives.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Exactly.
God, that's
and also,
drink.
isn't the current owner of the Lakers? Didn't she sleep with Phil Jackson at one point?
Mm-hmm.
I will neither confirm nor deny. The point is, I can't help but laugh that Nexon has been my punching bag for a long ass time, and this is only adding fuel to that fire. And Patrick Sutherland continues to get karma for that infamous "accept it or don't buy the game."
Yeah. Oh boy, he's gonna get even worse than Matrick.
So can I safely say
worse.
that when it comes to his business savvy, he is uneducated?
Saying uneducated is actually being nice.
And with that, I need to take my leave because I need to get some sleep. I got my kid's first day of school tomorrow, so. Good times. Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Have a good one, dude.
This early shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed. August 12th? Huh.
Yeah, they're starting school early. Shit, back in the day, they wait till after Labor Day.
Yep. And now if you guys wouldn't mind terribly, Count Hogan, play us in.
Yes. Okay. I gotta ask this question. What the fuck is this shit?
That's what I
POC
said.
Gamer?
First off, POC Gamer, which has the subtitle of Sci-Fi, Fantasy, and Gaming from a Colored Perspective.
You know, colored's racist, right? Idiots. Drink!
Oh, I was gonna say, you need to give me a moment here because I need to smack myself in the head.
This sounds like some PCU style stupidity. You know what? Hold on. I should have I should do a button for this, but since I don't have time for this, hold on a second. I got something for you. Here we go. And here we go. All right, here we go. One more. Here we go. Check this out.
And the walls are painted white. And the chalk is white. And even the copy machine paper is white. This, my friend, is a white devil's conspiracy.
I'm going to make that a button in case we run into this shit.
Oh, this is a special kind of what the ever living fuck.
This is a special kind of stupid. Anyway.
Okay, Mildred. Give me a reason to kill my liver.
Believe me, I'm gonna be regretting this. I'm gonna be regretting this.
Oh, you had a double track for a second.
Who am I getting doubles from? Is it you, Maddie?
Probably me.
I'm going to bring you down just a smidgen. All right. So once again, we have a case of somebody talking about D&D being colonial.
Drink.
This is almost nostalgic because the backdoor pilot for Monastery Live covered this exact same thing over a year ago.
Oh God.
It keeps coming back to this bullshit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like fucking Groundhog Day.
In fact, let me see if I can find.
Why can we not escape this?
This
was everything. Everything's racist. Everything's sexist. You need to call it out. Please stop. Please stop.
Here we go.
This was something that I covered.
Same old shit. You know what? Hold
on the backdoor pilot of the Monastery, which was October 3rd, 2017.
Woof. That's back.
God, has it really been that long?
Yep.
Oh
Fuck.
God. Oh God. Same old shit. So you know what?
Oh, I see you found the theme music for the Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
You know what, Mildred? Happy fucking birthday.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. I should make a button out of both those clips. Because every time we go back to the same old shit, it's like fucking Groundhog Day.
It doesn't end. It's just the same fucking shit every single time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So he opens with the issue saying D&D has set a template that has been relentlessly reproduced by fantasy RPGs right into the modern era. Unfortunately, it was a template of unchecked and unquestioned colonialism and the repetition of racism-based narratives. Citation
Drink and
needed.
drink. Two drinks right there.
D&D's origins are Vance, Howard, Moorcock, and Tolkien. The closest thing that you've been able to bring up of any of them being racist is orcs somehow being a allegory for black people, which even that
Kind of racist, right?
Which I'm sorry,
Even
that's more racist. But
Yeah,
because
saying black folk are orc.
where it flashes up in its most obvious forms is how the game instructs the players and DMs to treat the half races how POC are depicted and treated.
Oh, here you go.
Drink.
Stop using POC.
Oh,
In the immortal words of
I'm
Dr.
gonna
Cox. Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong,
wrong.
You know, Uncle, you guys heard of Uncle Hotep, right?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
He's been talking about this shit about how POC is no better than saying colored people. And you know what? I fucking agree.
I only say POC, and by that I mean piece of crap.
Oh. And you got to admit, though, if you really look at the way it's used, it is kind of insulting.
It very much is. That's the reason why I don't use it. And also, before I move on to the rest of that paragraph, I want to highlight some of the categories he has, which is racism in comics, racism in film and TV, racism in games, and the hate box retro review.
Oh,
I can safely say I'm a better blogger than this guy, even though I've taken down my blog. But first off, if you're going to make a positive claim like that, you got to be able to back it up. And so far, you're just making a claim without anything to do that. And he goes on to how monstrous races are all but dismissed as people or being part of the world.
What?
Here's the problem.
Drink.
Those monstrous races in D&D's core settings are the type of ones that would eat people. Do you think that anybody's going to go out to a knoll unless it's a custom setting and say, "How are you, good sir?" No, they're gonna run the fuck away because the knoll are known to eat people.
Well, not even that, dude. Have you seen how dark elves are treated in fantasy? Like, no, dude, dark elves are the most badass sons of bitches you have. Like,
no,
you think elves are fucking badass? No, dark elves will fuck your shit up. Like,
the whole deal about dark elves being these sexy tanned elves with big titties. Sorry, that's more of a recent thing.
That's the thing. It's not even that. Whether they're the tan-skinned elves or the gray-skinned elves, the one thing that always remains consistent is dark elves are the ones that are going to fuck your day up. They're more dangerous than elves. They usually have better aspects when it comes to using magic. They're usually better when it comes to hand-to-hand fighting. Dark elves are the ones that are the rarest and also the ones that are going to fuck your day up. If you want someone on your team, you want a fucking dark elf. A dark elf is going to fuck your day up, and they're also the ones that have the most they're the most prideful.
Yep.
They are the ones that you don't fuck with. Period. End of story. And if you do, congratulations, you just fucking you're done.
Now, apparently, he sums up a lot of the narrative design and world build as, if they don't look like us, we either want to have sex with them or kill them.
Oh, good God.
Really?
But in the next paragraph, he tries to justify his argument by the fact that D&D was made in the 70s, and thus there was still the turmoil from the civil rights movement.
Here we go. Yeah, everything before current years an ism.
And Gygax himself was a biological determinist and essentialist. That is an ad hominem argument.
Oh, bullshit. Fucking drink.
Yeah,
On
drink,
that
and
note,
also addressing real quick, addressing the chat. Later, Coops. Thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
And God, this.
I'm going to say good night as well, guys. Good night.
All right.
Alright, take care.
Oh, have a
Thanks
good
for
one,
stopping
dude.
in. Make sure that you take a cold shower when you get back home, so that you can watch the Toronto off of you.
Damn.
Good night.
Drink for savagery.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, really.
Do you really think he wants to see another fucking Leafs jersey anytime soon?
Oh, ouch. Yeah, it's a drink for
Probably not.
savagery.
He's besides unless I'm mistaken, and I'll apologize in advance if I am. He's from Quebec.
Oh.
Oh, I have no idea. So, it's a drink no matter what. So, fuck it. Drink.
Yeah, but he goes.
Damn,
All of this bled into D&D's tradition of exoticism, racism, and problematic practices. This was
Citation, you idiot!
My God. Yeah, drink. Fucking drink. This is ridiculous. It really, dude. Really, you're using D&D as a way to fucking justify your worldview.
Oh my god!
It's
Who the fuck?
D&D,
Who the
you
fuck?
fucking jack off.
Who
He
the
then-
fuck
he then
wrote
says that
this?
the-
Hooper X.
He then goes on to say that this was characterized best with the Matsika in 2nd edition AD&D. First off, Gygax was out of the company by the time that thing came out, and second, why would you cite yourself as a source? And I clicked on the link,
And by the way, drink.
When we
Fucking
say
drink.
citation needed, that doesn't mean cite yourself, idiot.
and the let me do a little bit of a search.
Yeah, who is this idiot
is-
anyway?
This is one of the
EA
most
Barber.
absurd arguments I've ever fucking heard.
Oh,
Hey.
the Matsika setting was a setting in the Forgotten Realms run of AD&D 2nd that was trying to have a more Incan flair. And I remember having
Yes.
that box set. I liked that box set. I wish I still had it. Well, I have it in PDF form, but still. Like you could play as a fucking Jaguar warrior in that thing. It was awesome.
And this guy's basically making the argument that the Elder Scrolls is fucking racist and this and that because you can play as lizard people and cat people. Get fucked. This is the definition of fucking confirmation bias. This is ridiculous.
Yep, and
Yeah,
then he goes on to the half and lineage player races, typified by half elf, half orc, Aasimar, and tiefling, where he says a lot of these come into play, and he says for ease of examination, I will draw on TV tropes for this. Okay, so you're basically admitting your laziness.
Oh, I'm
So
gonna
you're
draw on tropes to fucking to make my argument seem valid. Like, oh my.
These players get the bulk of the negative aspects of the half-human hybrid, half-breed discrimination, malign mixed race marriage, and parts of That's Not My Child. Except here's directly quoting the tropes. Except here's the thing that you fail to understand, and everybody else fails to understand when it comes to this. When running D&D, you are not under any obligation to run it exactly as it's written in the books. In fact, this is the reason why Rule 0 exists. If the rules get in the way of your groups meaning to have fun, tweak them or throw some of them out. He tries to claim that the Aasimar is the exception because they're touched by the outer read heavenly planes. Not all of them are heavenly. They're not untouched by racism, though, since being a model minority carries a host of its own issues. That's not how Aasimar work. Then he tries to argue that the half-orc, half-elf, and tiefling have a lot of one-drop rule and discrimination.
Oh, bullshit!
Also, drink.
So
that's two.
That's not just a drink, it's this.
Bullshit!
And they ascribe half-orcs of the negative stereotype features of POC: brutish, incapable of having or enjoying high culture, and violent by nature.
Where's
Oh,
my liquor?
fucking drink on that. That's a chug.
You know what?
Oh,
I'm close
God.
to using the R. Kelly button if they do one more bullshit take like that, and I'm sure they're gonna do that.
Yeah, then saying half-elves are the exotic sexualized mulattoes that
Bull!
Yep, bullshit.
Yo, I'm fighting for my life. Yo, killing me with this. I can't help 30 years. I'm a Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me.
Exactly.
let's see, didn't
Kill me with this shit.
now. He also brings up the whole with half races, they're rejected by both sides. Yeah, it's called character building. That's part of the reason why, even though it got overblown really quickly, people liked Drizzt as a dark elf who rejected the more decadent aspects of his heritage. It's nothing new. There's plenty of stories over the years of, and this is one story concept that I enjoy more than its opposite, of somebody who is meant to have powers used for evil, but ends up using them for good and rejecting that aspect. And there's one series that's used this very well and has been using this kind of trope very well since the 1970s. A little series that you may or may not have heard of called Kamen Rider.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. It's almost like, these tropes,
They're universal. Nothing to do with
Yeah.
fucking racism. But then again, don't tell this guy. This guy can't think beyond my racism.
Yeah,
yeah,
then
it's almost like a character. Let's say if it's an elf and a human. Let's look at an elf and a human.
Yeah. I'm reading up a little head of here, and it's like this guy's going in circles.
yeah, that's the other problem. He suffers from the college essay issue where somebody's deliberately padding their argument. And I will freely admit I've been guilty of that a few times. Everybody has. But when you're trying to make definitive statements, don't waste my damn time. And
we're not in college. You don't have to make these. You don't have to pad your arguments.
Yep.
Well,
He then goes on to claim
you're looking
that
at the
Mildred,
let's be honest. You're looking at the argument from somebody who has probably never fucking played D&D or doesn't understand fantasy in general.
Probably don't.
No, he understand. I go by this. He watched Lord of the Rings when he was 10, and then thinks that he knows shit about this sort of thing that you and I have been inundated in our entire lives. But this whole sins of the father thing that he tries to argue with tieflings, and then argues that it does not reflect a world where their presence and background would have been normalized long ago. Except here's the
Mildred, I might actually believe that if it weren't for this. This guy probably would not be able to understand the what's that one show? From the New World or whatever, the one that had Squealer, the monster pigs. Where the whole plot twist was the monster pigs were actually humans all along. And the whole reason that they were actually trying to fight against quote quote normal humans was because they were being subjugated and treated like pieces of shit and slaves the entire time. And the only thing they had to actually fight against people who can use telekinetic powers is through using technology. And right at the very last fucking episode, he flat out says, "We've been humans and you've been treating us like shit. We've been humans all along. Screw you. Everything I've done has been to try to make sure that my species can survive in the face of overwhelming power. Fuck you. I lost, but I still stand by what I've done, and I still believe in everything I've done. And then he gets screwed over only for the people that fucked him over to realize at the end of the story, yeah, actually he was telling the truth. They were humans. That's what assholes like this don't realize. It's not about racism or anything like that.
He is so consumed with trying to see racist in everything that he is not able to comprehend basic storytelling. He goes on to talk about monster races.
It's social commentary.
Yeah, or that, and he's trying to say that the monster races have these colonialist aspects. Except here's the thing that I don't think he understands. There is a very romanticized frontier attitude with a lot of high and some low fantasy, where the idea of these codified nations isn't as set in stone. More often than not, it is feudalistic nations, city-states, and a lot of untamed area. And with untamed area comes with it the threats of untamed area, i.e., a weekend in Australia.
Oh boy.
Or for, as a 40K reference, 5 minutes in Cadia.
Oh,
Well, I'll go with the Australian because at least prostitution's legal.
With Cadia, you're just fucked. Like before that planet broke, it was a spitting distance away from the Eye of Terror, and the recruiting age for the Imperial Guardsmen, 13.
Oh, goodbye childhood.
now 13 if you're good.
If you're less good, you might get it at 11.
Oof.
Yeah. Either way, it's not a fun time.
Nope. But then he goes to say that POC and D&D suffer several issues. Except here's the thing: there are no POC in D&D because if you're playing a black man in D&D, you're just human. You want the now. Are there certain settings that have different human ethnicities? Yes, but standard D&D is not one of them. It never has been, and it probably never will be. But they're saying that it's stereotypical portrayals based in problematic pulp literature roots being the least of the problems. Here's the issue, and then he decides to rant on the whole Oriental Adventures line book.
Except, that shit again?
Yeah.
Fucking Frank.
Here's the problem. His entire argument is based on his own cynicism. To which I have to say, don't look at your reflection in the lake. We already saw what happened with Narcissus.
Yo, boy.
But his solution, he says that his solution is to acknowledge, like anime, manga, and some forward-thinking RPGs did, what anime, what manga, and what forward-thinking RPGs.
Yeah,
cite your fucking sources. In that fantasy worlds are not just the real-world European Middle Ages. I'd argue that D&D is trying to go more for Renaissance than Middle Ages, and even then, this highlights the main point. There is a reason why D&D was never designed with a assumed setting. A bunch of ideas that you were meant to use to create the setting with your friends, but not a full-on setting. Like you were if you're going to make that argument, then I'm going to ask this guy one question. When's the last time you saw somebody assuming that they had to run AD&D using Greyhawk? Nope.
By the way, when he's talking about Middle East Middle Age setting. You know, they tried this shit on another game. and that being Kingdom Come Deliverance. It didn't work there. What makes him think it's going to work here? Idiot.
And then he outright admits that fantasy worlds are not tied to the real world and that coding is inevitable. But he decides to double down and say, but that doesn't mean things need to be slavishly reproduced to maintain a facade of authenticity.
So Mildred, in short, I'm gonna say this whole solution is this.
Unlike you, I don't waste all these people's time bitching and moaning
And bitching.
and bitching
Bitching.
and bitching
Bitching.
and bitching
And bitching.
and bitching
You don't
and
suck it.
bitching
And bitching.
And bitching.
and bitching
And bitching.
and bitching
And bitching.
Bitching.
And bitching.
Are you bitching?
I'm skipping ahead because a lot of the stuff that he talks about in
is
the
bitching.
thing
It's
is very circular.
It's very circular. It's more bitching. That's all it is.
Yep. Because he's trying to say that he's calling for better world building. I am sorry, but I see no world building. I did better world building in a 20-minute video on a setting that I didn't make with Zeitgeist.
Bullshit!
Like,
Bullshit. Also, fucking drink.
What
Yeah,
world
definitely.
were you building?
liquor?
I legitimately want to know, what world were you building?
Oh, he's building Wakanda.
He's building the world of the woke.
Doku, I think I shared with you the map that I'm using for my setting.
For Zeitgeist?
Yeah, you did.
Not for Zeitgeist, for Project Gaia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did, and it's still... What you shared with me shows someone who actually gives a flying fuck about what they're trying to do, as opposed to this fucking asshole who's writing a fucking bullshit article that's, let's look here, 7, 8 paragraphs long. Yeah, I could write this type of bullshit article, drinking the way I do. I could write this fucking type of bullshit article in 15 fucking minutes, because nothing about this has any substance to it. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of virtue signaling. It's a bunch of nonsense. He doesn't give a flying fuck about what he's talking about. He's just sitting there saying, hey guys, listen to me. All the racism and the sexism. Oh my god, do you guys see how terrible the world is? Listen to what I'm having to say. Look at how terrible this is. Please give me money. Give me clicks. Go fuck yourself, you half-bit piece of shit. You don't give a flying fuck about anything you're talking about.
Yeah, really.
There's my little rant.
See, the reason why some people, it could be argued that I am far too defensive regarding RPGs. Here's the thing. I want this medium that I have enjoyed for so many years to be respected. What I do not want is for people to use it as their own personal prop. This man has no interest in D&D. What he has an interest in is somehow having D&D look like his own reflection, which will somehow validate his ideological bent.
So in other words, this guy's nothing more than
It has less to do with love for the game, and it has more to do with him having love for only his own reflection. And as somebody who is of mixed race, fuck off, because I guarantee that for all this talk about how we shouldn't be calling various mixed races half races, I guarantee he would run up to me and call me half black.
Yeah, he'd probably call me a zebra, or half breed or anything like that. They'd probably do the same shit to me. Well, of course, if he did that in a really fucked up context, believe me, he'd get a fucking headbutt. But still, this is his problem. He doesn't give a fuck about the shit. All he gives a shit about is his bullshit craftivism, and wants to just bring this shit on and fuck up D&D like they fucked up everything else. Marvel, comics, video games, you name it.
And he ends his now. First off, a notch against him. He apparently has medieval PLC on his blog roll. The same guy who tried to argue that there were black people in Poland in the 14th century. But
we're going back to this shit again.
He ends his post by saying, "For more thoughts on decolonization, check out my post on decolonizing magic." So once again, now look, I realize this might come off a little bit hypocritical because I've cited past works that I've done myself. But here's the thing: it's usually because I'm referencing a point that I made in the past. It's not a case of, for further reading, check out my other work. In that kind of sense, I hate doing that. I don't even like doing the whole please like, subscribe, and comment and all that. And of course, let's not forget that he has both a Ko-fi and a Patreon. And yeah, I have a subscribe star now, but you don't see me trying to prop that up as if that's the only reason I'm doing shit. No.
Yeah, really.
Any money that goes into the subscribe star is going to be appreciated, and it's good. And if there ends up being enough, any funds that end up getting out of it are going to be used to help further support this thing. But
he came with a nice flex with the shill, at least.
But for me, it has always been about my love for this hobby and for the continuing support of this hobby. That is the reason I set up this channel. That's the reason I do what I do. It has nothing at all to do with any sort of propping up. Because I never want to be that guy. That's the reason. If I wanted to be that guy, I would have been covering D&D 5th edition like everybody else. I don't do that. The closest I've come to covering D&D again in the last month is covering Fantasy Craft, which is better. Go check out that review. You'll see why. Because there was a lot of shit that I didn't cover in that. But this just pissed me. I do not suffer fools gladly, and this particular kind of thing where he's just rambling on without making a real point, just smug witticism.
Yeah, it's typical craftivist screed.
It's craftivist screed, and moreover, I am insulted as a writer, and I'm pretty sure Doku is really as well.
Oh, I'm like, what
I wasn't
the hell
even
is
going to
this
bring.
crap?
I wasn't even going to bring that up, but since you already did, this is the type of shit that really fucking irritates. Where you could have the ability to actually say something, but yet you choose not to because you're so fucking driven by trying to make some sort of bullshit political point that whether it's comic books, whether it's video games, whether it's novels, graphic novels, whatever sort of entertainment medium that you're looking at, you choose to take that and turn it into ever-living fucking garbage because I'm gonna use this medium to push my garbage political fucking narrative without making a single fucking point, and it makes all of us look like assholes. It's like I have an issue with a friend of mine currently, where he makes everyone look like fucking idiots and pieces of shit because he makes himself look like a fucking prick, and everyone else who might have a somewhat similar viewpoint, well, now they associate us with him, and now we all look like assholes. This is the same kind of shit this fucking prick is doing. It has nothing to do with fantasy. It has nothing to do with what this guy actually enjoys. It has everything to do with the fact that this guy's using something like Dungeons and Dragons, or yeah, if it's Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons, it doesn't fucking matter. It makes all of us look like fucking pricks because of one stupid fuckhead. So to that I say, go fuck yourself.
Well, that and Stephen A's got a message for this idiot.
Stay off the damn weed.
Knew that we were gonna get that eventually.
Yep.
But that is going to do it for that's going to do it for this week. I do want to thank everybody for showing up. I appreciate all of you. And that's the closest I'm going to get to an Umbrella Guy impression, because we here at the Monastery love that Umbrella Guy.
Yes, we do.
But
by the way, if you're listening, which I highly doubt, who knows, but congratulations on your newest umbrella.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a parasol.
Yeah.
That was the worst joke I've had all night.
Oh God.
I will not be streaming Shadow Tactics tomorrow. I can guarantee that, because that game is merciless.
Yeah.
It's a good game, but it does not fuck around, and even on its easiest difficulty, you will get screwed.
Yeah. Should we tell them the news about a certain thing that we're doing at the end of this month?
Yeah, I brought it up early on in the stream, but I feel I should bring it up here. So on the 27th, I will not be having one of my gaming streams, because instead, myself, good brother Aaron, and good brother Matty will be doing a NFL preview in a little experiment we're calling The Men Who Stare at Sports Ball.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm not going to be joining for that because I have no faith in the Redskins.
Oh,
do you think we're only going to be shitting on our favorite teams? No, we're going to be shitting on every team.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Let me know when you're doing about hockey.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that the week before the hockey season starts, we'll probably do one then.
Yeah.
I have no plans on doing this every week during the season. It's something I'll probably be doing every few months, or even just once a month. And if anybody's thinking that I'm trying to rip off the infinitely more talented The Dumpster Fire between Urinating Tree and 5 Points, I can still hear him laughing in the distance.
Yeah.
I am not. This is just a case of we've got 3 people who love sports shit posting, so I figure why not give us a full platform with that, even if it's only for once a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because those who say that you can't do geek shit and do sports shit, that's where you're wrong, kiddo.
Yeah, really. Anytime. Anything you can freaking take the piss on and shit post, come on, it's fair game.
Hey, if you ever want to talk about the Saints or the Washington Redskins, let me know.
Well, I can guarantee. Although the scary thing is, if the draft is any indication, the Washington Redskins may have been less dumb this year.
But
it's Dan Snyder. Come on.
Yeah, we said that when we fucking drafted RG3, and look how that worked out.
Yeah.
Well, you did
fucking
you
Snyder
you
ruined
didn't
him.
you didn't draft Daniel Jones, so you're not the
Oh, fair
biggest idiot
point.
in the room.
Yeah, not the biggest, but that ain't saying much.
Besides, how do you think I feel with the Minnesota mediocrity?
Oh God.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
Well, hey, at least the Bears got a shot. Got a shot at a Super Bowl appearance. Hey.
I'm still sad with the Bears
And-
because you didn't hire Chris Blewett.
Nah, we got rid of him.
Just I want somebody
Oh,
to hire.
nothing.
I want somebody to hire him on their as their kicker.
If anything, I'm thinking the Chargers might.
I want to see that just for the memes. But that is going to do it for this week. Again, I want to thank everybody who showed up. I always appreciate you, and I appreciate even more given the fact that we are now at 350 subscribers in this most humble of temples.
Yes.
Because of that, I did open up a subscribe star. It is completely optional. In fact, I only have one tier, and that tier costs $1. Because the way I see it, it is a tip jar. That is I am not planning on going any further than that unless I have to. And it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
The collection, this is a voluntary collection plate.
Yeah, into that, here's 350 subs, man. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
But we'll be back. We'll be back next week with the monastery. I'm gonna be having a fair amount of me time tomorrow because today technically because it's my fucking birthday. So so time for me to get plastered in Minneapolis.
And yeah, dude, happy fucking birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Homer already jumped the gun with the birthday wishes because time zones.
Yeah, it's close enough.
But yeah, it's close enough. And there's gonna be more coming once the rest of the world is awake. I'm pretty much gonna have my inboxes flooded.
Yeah, if that whole Epstein thing's to go by, I expect some bullshit happening within the next week.
But
my money, Portland.
Even with me taking some me time, I will have another video for RPG a day because it's very easy to make those kind of things. I just record for 5 minutes and then I upload it. Next Saturday will be the review that I initially thought I was doing this week, but it turns out I'm not. I'm reviewing Mythender, which is a free RPG that uses a lot of D6s. Its tagline is "Kick-ass, erase names," and it lives up to that tagline. And it's a free game. You can easily look it up so you can see what it's all about. It's definitely an interesting game, and you'll get to see me talk about it in detail on Saturday. Tuesday, I will not be doing Metal Wolf Chaos. I will be returning to Bloodstained because I want to finish that before I delve into anything else. As far as the Monday thing, it is going to be the strategy theme. I just need to narrow down what it's going to be. It's not going to be Age of Wonders because the combat in that is still kicking my ass. But it will be something, and we're going to have some fun. Like we always do in the open bar of the internet. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present, and the good brothers not present, my name is Mildra, I am your gaming monk, stay fucking frosty and fuck the